So we found the section where people own bears. Check it out.
They're really good about chewing the bones. So we had a dog when we were kids that was a lab, and she would just like swallow whole bones and couldn't trust it.
That dog is 5 months old.
Okay.
I just heard that.
We gotta go to that.
He's afraid if he leaves, you won't let him back in.
He's rogue. He's 7.
So we're here with Surf and Jack and David of the Lucy Pet Foundation. What do you guys do?
Well, what we do is we sponsor a mobile spay and neuter clinic that does free surgeries in Los Angeles for low-income areas. So, for example, someone who can't afford an $800 surgery at a brick-and-mortar vet's office, our mobile clinic allows them to have, if they're low income, allows them to have a free spay and neuter, and the city of Los Angeles pays for this. In the past 4.5 years, we have accomplished over 20,000 no-cost and low-cost surgeries in Southern California. This is Surf and Jack. Jack was adopted by the foundation initially to be the spokes puppy for the foundation and for our brand new line of shampoo and conditioner. Jack actually has her own line of shampoo and conditioner. It smells like wonderful, old school Tropicana suntan lotion. It's great coconut. Anyway, so that's where we do that. And then, because Jack is such a wonderful, calm puppy, as you can kind of see, Jack was recruited to star in a Super Bowl Sunday commercial that ran on the Hallmark Channel on the Kiddie Bowl. This is 3.5 years ago. And it's an amazing commercial to watch Jack do this. And it's on our website. You can check it out. And since then, Jack and I have traveled. We've driven over 60,000 miles in the last 3 years, all across the United States. And we do things like we'll do trade shows, we'll do open houses for our distributor, and we stop at stores. And I tell people, I said, what's funny is that when we go to, say, West Hollywood at a pet store, every 5th dog looks like Jack. But when you go to Lincoln, Nebraska, or Lake Charles, Louisiana, they close the store for an hour because they've never seen anything quite like Jack. So Jack will hold court for an hour, and everyone calls their relatives to have Jack come down so they can take pictures. So that's what Jack and I do. It's a wonderful, wonderful job to have there. Especially when you got a companion like this.
Him, it's a game. To them, they're like, I will freak out. What's that big bird doing?
One's the orange and the white.
Kind bird breeders. We've been around for this is our 50th year, and we promote educating people on the birds and how to take care of them and how to raise them. Nowadays, there's more pet birds than there are breeders, so we've had to adjust to the pet bird scene now.
So what kind of birds do you breed?
I I myself, at the end over here, are green cheek conures. My son breeds those.
Okay.
I'm kind of like out of it now. It's been 30 years, so I do chickens. So.
All right, chickens.
Yeah.
I love chickens.
Yeah.
I love chickens.
And then we have cockatiels, and the zebra finches, and English parakeets, which are your show parakeets. That's why they're so much bigger than the little American parakeets.
Okay.
But we're just here to educate the public.
Very cool. And what's your favorite bird?
My favorite bird are macaws, the big ones. Yeah.
This is Sebastian. He is a 16-year-old hyacinth macaw. And the interesting thing about him is that he used to ride in the Rose Parade in Pasadena.
So he's famous.
Yeah, he's a bit of a bird celebrity.
And how old is will he live?
He'll live to be about 60 or 70, maybe 80 if he's lucky.
I think that's something that I want to push too, is that birds are very cool, they're very attractive, but it's a lifelong commitment. It's gonna either live all your life or outlive you.
They do live a long time, and a lot of people that are at least over 30 getting baby macaws end up having to write them in their will for their children to take.
That one is a black-eyed croc skink. Different species than the red-eyed.
You're good with those.
So you guys just...
I do.
Okay. Do you have a website?
We do not have a website, but we do have a Facebook.
All right, so we're here with Nate at Feeder Source. Now, what kind of products do you supply to the people?
We basically focus on all of the feeders for the reptile industry. So we do everything from frozen mice, frozen rats, frozen day-old chicks, to crickets, dubia roaches, mealworms, superworms, waxworms, hornworms, butterworms, and a couple
lot of worms.
There's a lot of variety there.
Right on, right on. I know there's like kind of like a controversy between like feeding live sometimes and like feeding Arctic. Like, what do you suggest?
Basically, what I always suggest is the frozen thawed. I know there's a little controversy back and forth. What we do for our personal collection, we do all the frozen thawed as well as some of the fresh killed. I don't like to do any of the live feeding to our animals, because if you ever forget the rodent in there, it can always hop on the snake, chew through the scales, scratch the snake's eyes, and do a lot of harm. So in my opinion, the frozen is really the way to go. And we do that even in our own facility, even though we have thousands and thousands of live rodents breeding and on hand at any given time. We'll always go and do the frozen thawed for our own stuff, just mainly for safety for the snakes.
So we're here with Jen. What do you do here at ZoomEd?
I'm actually the director of our customer service. I actually work in our main office, so occasionally I get to go out and do some of the shows. The Pet Expo is one of the ones that I get to do throughout the year. So,
if you guys know reptiles, you know ZoomEd. ZoomEd, how many stores is ZoomEd in? I don't think I've ever been in a store where I haven't seen a product.
I think we're pretty much in every store, and we're also worldwide. We're not in every store worldwide, but you can also find us in a lot of zoos, a lot of rescues. They all use our products. You can also call our customer service line. We're Monday through Friday, we're available from 8 to 5, and you can actually talk to a live person, get animal care questions. Our customer service department, we have about 7 of us that work in our customer service department, and you can actually talk to any of us that we hands-on handle all the products. We have about 800 animals at our facility. That's actually the owner's private collection, and we handle all the animals. So if somebody has a question, more than likely you can probably answer.
Your hand up.
Editor Jackie here. I just thought you should know, Bree has a terrible fear of scorpions.
This is a red claw scorpion.
Cool now.
You're bad.
Yeah, they're gonna skyrocket.
Come around this side, you can talk to me.
3 or 4 setups.
Yeah,
and then
just come in.
run 3 different.
I promise. This is called a flat rock scorpion.
So you sell these?
I do.
Okay. Do you have a website?
We do not have a website, but we do have a Facebook.
So how can people...
There you go. And the neat thing about these is if you want them to calm down because they're used to being between rocks, the ultimate calm scorpion.
Ooh, I'm like sweating right now. But this is good. This is
never
good.
going to move unless you blow on it or touch it. It's staying right where it is. I'm going to have to peel it off your hand apparently.
Right?
It likes you.
It likes me.
It's fine. It's not going to do anything.
My name is Michael Yakub, and I'm from the Reef and Reptile Company in San Diego.
So, what do you primarily... Obviously, we have a lot of snakes here. Do you primarily breed snakes, or do you do any other things?
I do other things, however, being that we're kind of early in the season, I don't have other things to show off. I'm a big kind of Australian junkie. My biggest vibe lately has been I've been playing with the blue-tongue skinks, some different dwarf monitors like the Kimberley Rock monitors, Palbaras, the Ackies, Kingorums. I don't believe in renting animals. I don't believe that's not going to prolong our industry nor help our hobby by continuing to do that. I think the importance is us really pushing the whole captive breeding. I think people are not remembering that locality-specific animals are just as beautiful as some of these morphs, and they're disappearing. I mean, there's certain species of things that we see. I mean, when's the last time you seen a Solomon Island monkey-tail skink? You know, they used to be common and relatively affordable. No more. You know, Parsons chameleons. You know, now, you know, that was a $50 chameleon. Now it's a $2,000 chameleon, and find them. You know, a lot of these species now are here and there. I mean, helmeted iguanas are helmeted geckos. I mean, there's so many species I can think of that I used to see so many of and took for granted. You know, that at some point, like, that well was going to dry up, and a lot of people overlooked them due to the fact that they were so inexpensive, and now you can't find a lot of that stuff, and it's sad to me. So to me, I kind of do like the locality specific stuff, which is like over the last couple years, that's what I've been doing, is buying locality specific boa constrictors, locality specific carpet pythons, and I've gotten more and more away from the morph thing. Not that I don't still produce morphs, because I hate to sell it. They still sell, and they are beautiful, and they are desirable, and I still enjoy them, but I've just geared myself a little differently, you know.
So this is a Reptile, which is one of the largest species of carpet pythons from Australia. Believe it or not, this thing actually turns red when they're an adult. They're actually one of my absolute favorite. They are the largest of the carpet pythons. They can exceed 8 to, some have been known to get 10 feet long. And they're actually one of the more docile species. It's hard to tell, but if you know anything about, like, for example, if you come over here, or I can bring it over here. Like, for example, this is a young jungle carpet.
I can tear it down faster.
So, like, you know, this is a jungle carpet python, but you know, it's only about 6-7 months old, but it's already starting to turn very yellow. So my point is, this is going to probably, at 2 years old, it's going to be a remarkably neon yellow animal, because they normally don't start showing yellow until about a year, which is the same thing going for the Reptile. They don't really start to show their red for about a year, but they're probably one of the coolest, most underlooked snakes out there. And there are some morphs. People like Nick Mutton and Casey Lazick are working with the calicos and the hypos and a few different morphs of carpets, of the Reptile. I have one that's kind of a crazy top secret one. We have a patternless striped Reptile that is the only one that we know of in existence.
It won't even focus. That was so cool.
It was all checking you out, yeah. So yeah, I've been really digging the carpet pythons.
What's your name? Cindy. And your
Jeff.
name? Jeff? You said, do you have an online somebody can get a hold of you, or?
We have a Facebook page, Reptile Mania, and then we also have our own website, but it's still in construction. So we're still putting it together.
So what you guys have here? What do you guys have?
So basically on the table right now we have some crusteds, and we have one leachianus. However, at home we have gargoyles. We also have morning geckos that we're working with, and some various other geckos as well.
This guy's $1,000. So what makes him so special?
Well, okay, so she's a leachianus, New Caledonia giant gecko, and so she can get about as big as my forearm, and about 300 to 400 grams. Also, with these guys, when breeding comes around to breed them, the female actually picks who she wants to breed with. So you can't just put a male.
Female should.
You can't just put a male in there and say, "Here you go," and she's to say, "Not in your lifetime." So so she, that's what makes it a little bit more complicated to actually breed these guys, and then they go through their whole mating ritual and things like that. But like I said, you can't just pick a male you want. You have to. She's gonna pick it. So if you find one she doesn't like, guess what? You have to take that back and find a different one that she's gonna actually like.
It's almost like you have to have like 20 males
lined up and say, which one? Like the prince, in those movies where you line up all the girls and he says pick one.
To find a suitor.
A suitor, pretty much, yeah.
So what's your name and what do you do?
My name is Guy. I'm a reptile breeder, and we also own a reptile shop in Temecula called The Reptile Shop. Easy to remember. And we breed a variety of animals. We breed boas, ball pythons, a variety of geckos, both New Caledonian type geckos, and then the leopard geckos, and bearded dragons.
Do you only sell at your store, or do you sell online as well?
We do both, actually. We sell at the trade shows. We do about 20 shows a year in Southern California, Arizona, and Nevada. And then we sell online and then out of our retail store. So that one is a black-eyed croc skink. Different species than the red-eyed, very similar animal. Really prehistoric looking.
A dragon in your hand. So this is Patrick. Patrick, what do you volunteer for?
I volunteer for SCAR, the Southern California Herpetology Association and Rescue. We work outside of Orange County to help animals from LA to San Diego. And I have Casino, who is an Indian Burmese python mix. And we're not yet fully grown. We can grow another 4 to 6 feet and reach pounds of up to 140 pounds in weight.
So you guys are a rescue.
That's right. We take in animals that maybe weren't ready for the homes weren't quite ready for a snake the right size, a turtle the right age, or a lizard that hungry. We take in animals, we try to educate people on what these animals are, what their lifestyles are like, and maybe help them find their right home that they can stay at for forever.
So how many animals would you say you guys have rescued so far?
Oh goodness, that's a hard one to say. Jason, how many animals have we rescued, would you say, from our beginning?
My time in doing this, or in this week alone?
In your time doing this. So this is Jason.
I would say in my 22 years of doing this now, probably easily over about 800,000.
Oh my.
And the reason being is because we're the organization that all the importers and distributors trust to give animals to. They come in unhealthy when they come in from the wild, or that are missing legs or missing limbs. So I'll get 1,000 animals a week, but it'll be 1,000 morning geckos or 1,000 day geckos, or 500 of this or 150 of that, and that's. Or I'll come home and have boxes of animals on my front porch.
Or have you always been a lover of reptiles?
I haven't actually. I was introduced to Scar and Jason about 2 years ago by my now fiance, China.
Hello, that's me.
Who introduced me to reptiles, and I actually didn't care much for them until she put one on my head. And
what did she put on your head?
She put a corn snake on my head. Its name is Snickers, and it's a lovable, docile thing. And ever since then, I realized they're very slow-living animals. They have a slow metabolism, and they don't live life very quickly. When they find something warm and they've got a full belly, that's the perfect life for them, and I kind of respect that.
For people that want to get into this hobby, let me tell you, get one, start off, come talk to a group like mine, your local society. I'm not a big advocate of pushing adopt, don't shop type of thing. I'm a firm believer in get the animal wherever you're comfortable from. Come talk to me. I'm not a salesman. I'm not going to try and sell you an animal. I'm going to tell you the general care and this and that for each animal that you're interested in, you can go buy it from Triple Reptile, you can buy it from Reptile Mania, you can buy it from anywhere you want. But if you want some information, we're the people to come to. And the difference between us is we're not 8 to 5. My phone doesn't get shut off. So I respond essentially 24 hours a day. Somebody will respond to you. So that's a little bit different from us, from everybody else.
And what's your website?
Right now, our website is www.socal.net. We actually, you can find us on Facebook. I don't have time to really keep up on it because I have other things to do. I'm not a big social media guy, but it's there. A lot of stuff that we have is on there. But you can find us. You'll find us at every reptile show. You'll find us through PetSmart, Petco. You'll find us at hundreds of events for the Down Syndrome Association, Pediatric Cancer Research Foundation, all kinds of events like that. We'll be everywhere.
And you can adopt from you guys?
Absolutely. Yeah, we adopt here. We try and do the majority of our adoptions through like a local PetSmart because we get adoption credit through PetSmart for doing it. Okay. But we'll do, anytime I'm not working or I'm breathing, you can call us and work something out with us.
You're a hard-working man, Jason. Thank you so much.
We'll try.
Thank you. So what's up, guys? We've had a lot of fun down here at the OC Fairgrounds at the Pet Expo. We have seen so many things. If you guys are looking for anything in particular, or you guys just want to find out more information about a certain pet that you might like, come on down, and you might just be able to pick up a guy like Casino here.